everyone. Thanks for being with me today. I have an issue with a bloke by the name of Mark Latham. Now, some of you may or may not have heard about him or really care about him one iota, but he's a pain in the ass. And I guess one of the issues with Mark Latham is that he believes he can say and do whatever he likes, denigrate other people, and that's quite okay. Well, you know, he is a member of One Nation. He's the leader of One Nation in New South Wales, and he thinks he has the right to be able to say whatever he can about another person. Well, I just want to say, and not many people watch my channel. I kind of get that. I don't care. But basically, he's a dick. And he's a dick for these reasons. Number one is he does think he can say whatever he needs to say, and he can denigrate other people, whatever. And he does this to people where he specifically holds a prejudice. In this case, a person who is openly declared that he is gay. And I do wonder about this notion around, and I've spoken about this many times before, about projection and whether some of these people that criticise others that are different to themselves, if you like, are actually projecting some of their own personal fears. Now, I'm not suggesting here that Mark Latham is gay, but I am suggesting that he probably has some issues in relation to his own sexuality that he needs to find some space to deal with. Or otherwise you wouldn't be having a go at other people such as the Hamish McDonald, who has been on the project. It's on ABC, is a fabulous reporter and interviewer. And because he is gay, he's been targeted by the likes of Nathan and generally One Nation people in general who are simply homophobic. Now, in this particular instance, Hamish McDonald has decided that he's going to sue him for some of the things that he said about him. And there is this report that was, ironically, strangely enough, in the Daily Mail in the UK. And I'm interested in the fact that they do report on Australian affairs, particularly on something like this. And this is basically what the article says. Mark Latham has mocked TV star Hamish McDonald after the project host described the shame and confusion he felt as a gay student at an elite private boys' school. Now, the interesting thing here is that Latham chooses to chooses to discuss this in a way which I find quite inappropriate. Now, the fact that he went to a private school does not necessarily equate to being elitist when one is gay going to a private school whereby there's a whole host of homophobic beliefs are rampant within those schools because they see themselves as elitist. And Hamish was far from elitist while going to this school because he himself was known as a poofter. He was ridiculed. He was put down because he was clearly different from the other boys. And so that's, even though the school might be elitist, the behaviour is not. It doesn't matter where you come from. If that behaviour is inappropriate, if it's putting somebody down, if it's denigrating their sense of being and who they are, then it is simply wrong. It is bullying. So it doesn't matter where one comes from. If you're receiving bullying, then it is what it is. So it goes on to say that New South Wales One Nation leader downplayed McDonald's experience at Scots College in Sydney, eastern suburbs, by describing him as dripping with privilege. Well, as I said before, it doesn't matter about what school he went to or anything else. He still was bullied. He claims homosexuals were massively overrepresented in the media and it was the greatest con job in the history of politics that gay people were considered disadvantaged. I would suggest that to be gay is not necessarily an overrepresentation, and I don't know where in the hell he got that data from. I would suggest that heterosexual people are overrepresented in the media. Trans people certainly are not. So it's a homophobic trope, really, to be able to say that they are. So does he feel jealous then that for whatever reason his community, which he sees as being heterosexual and right wing, are disadvantaged themselves because he believes that these other people, gay people, LGBTQIA people, are taking over his space. Is this what he's really complaining about? So does he think that he is becoming more and more insignificant because these other people are taking over the space that he and all the heterosexuals are occupying? Bad luck, buddy. Who gives a shit? At the end of the day, people will be whoever they want to be, and if they're taking over your space, bad luck. It's a bit like saying that my space has been taken over by Indigenous people. Well, if he said that, we would know straight away that that was racist. So this stuff that he's saying now is clearly homophobic, and there's no escaping it, no matter what you could do. McDonald's attended Scott College as a rural boarder from year 6 to year 12, and while he became school prefect, he was also tutored as a pufter, I think that refers to. On April 20th, McDonald penned an opinion piece for Nine newspaper, I should have this on the screen, in which he revealed he had endured verbal, psychological and sometimes physical torment at the Presbyterian school. The 41-year-old, sometimes ABC radio presenter, wrote he was surprised and disappointed that the Presbyterian church's proposed ban on gay and sexually active students from holding leadership roles. The next night, McDonald appeared on Network 10's The Project to discuss what it was like being a gay teenager at Scott's College before he had told anyone he was homosexual. When I think back at my time at school, I wonder what a difference it would have made to know that I wasn't the only one, the former Q&A host told viewers. A consequence of being schooled in an environment where being gay is considered thoroughly wrong is that you're left with a deep sense of shame that takes a lifetime to shake. Today, I lead a happy, fulfilling and productive life. I love my partner and loved in return, and I take great pride in the work I do. But I'm surprised even still by the extent to which the dark, disruptive shadows of my time at school can creep up on me unexpectedly, casting a pall over my work or home life. And this is where this jerk steps in, because when you've experienced, and I know this from personal experience, that when you've experienced some bullying, it takes a long, long time to shake it off. I've been there. It took me years to shake off the bullying I received when I was at working for an NGO some 20 years ago. And to some extent still sits there with me. So, I know what it's like to be bullied, and to be bullied around homosexuality in particular, given that you can never be who you want to be because of the lack of support you would receive and the language that would be thrown at you, and just the fact that you can't step out into the community because you'll be put upon, is extremely distressing. And what it does to people like Hamish McDonald is that they find that they are experiencing that stuff all over again, because characters like Latham have got no sense as to what it's like for them. These are bullies. Narcissistic, psychopathic bullies like Latham will get away with what it is they do until someone chooses to stand up against them. And I'm hoping that Hamish McDonald will have the courage in the end, as he suggests that he may, to actually fight these people, to let them know that what they say is wrong, it's damaging to him and to others, and that they need to stop it. It's not that hard, but it is for people like Latham who simply want to have the accolades that are poured upon them by people like Sky News and the right wing in particular. So, hoping that he can sort this out, and I just want him to know that we support him in his claim against Latham, because Latham, like many of his ilk, need to learn the lesson. Thanks for being with me, everybody. Before I leave, just want to let you know that if you wish to contact me, you can do so on this email address. And if you would like to make a comment below, I'd appreciate it. And if you'd like to subscribe, please do so. Thanks, everybody, for being with me. Take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.